Hello, welcome to our Monday motivation, our women's moments. This is stories of hope and resilience. So, welcome in. If you are new here, hopefully we are live streaming on several different platforms. I'm going to check one just to see if we are, if anybody can see if we're on there. Oh, we're there. So, yay. So, my name's Andrea Martin, and I have the privilege tonight of just sharing with you guys some stories from different ladies. They're going to share their story of resilience, of hope, of what they found as we go through these seasons of life, these seasons of change. And many of you know it can be a real struggle. I think if you could probably agree with us that what we don't know can hurt us. And I think some of us on here are going to share, hey, I wish I would have known this. I wish I'd have known this earlier. Ladies, your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. And our desire tonight is to share with you, just to be real and to be raw. You're going to hear some stories that are going to speak to your heart. And maybe they're for you, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're for your friend. Maybe they're for somebody in your family. And that's why we're showing up tonight, because we have come together as a community and we have found a solution to support our metabolic health, to take our health back. And you're going to see pictures, you're going to see stories, you're going to hear the true testimonies of people. And then we're going to show you the why behind it, how it works, how simple it is, because we have family and friends and loved ones that honestly they're leaving this world too soon. They're suffering with sickness and disease when our bodies were created to heal. So we're going to step in, and I'm going to ask each one of you just to come up and just share your name real quick, maybe where you're coming in from. I think Vicky's here too. And just share where you're at, where you're coming in from, what's your weather like, and then we're going to dive into our stories. So Jenny, we're going to let you go first.
Okay, so my name is Jenny Byam. I'm from Alberta, Canada. I think I'm the only Canadian on here. My weather's not terrible. The snow is melting, and I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it was plus 10 Celsius today. And it was sunny, no wind. I got out with my animals. I'm a hobby farmer. I have crazy animals on my farm: ostriches, pigs, chickens, ducks, goats, you name it. And I've been on a health journey like the rest of us. And I'm here just to share what's been working for me and what I've learned.
Oh, awesome, Jenny. Now we can say we know an ostrich farmer. I didn't know anybody that was like that. So that is so cool. So
I am an
follow her.
ostrich
She's got
farmer.
stories.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Andrina, do you want to share where you're at, a little bit about you, and what's the weather like where you're at?
It's cold, but I'm also cold because I have no insulation anymore. So for me, it's cold. I'm a family chiropractor in Northern Illinois. Yes, it's cold and damp and fun times this year. We've been spoiled the last few years, but I'm glad to be here and glad to join in and share. Just as we all have different stories on how our body heals and takes care of itself, and look forward to chatting with all of you.
So exciting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Miss Jenny, you want to share with us where you're at? What's your weather? Do you have something you love to do, or just a little bit about you? Give us a nugget.
Okay. Well, I'm Jennifer. I just leveled up. I'm now 51. I'm an
Happy
adoptee,
birthday.
and I'm also a full-time caregiver for both of my parents who have cognitive decline. I live in South Florida, and for me, other than all the other ladies on here, I'm whining that it's 59 and windy.
59 and windy.
Yes, when you live in a state where you don't have the humidity, as soon as the humidity's gone, we all bundle up like snow bunnies. So, it's hopefully this weekend it should be, it looks like it's going to be 70, 75. So I'm pretty excited.
Well, we're coming, some of us are coming your way. So
your way.
Please just keep it that
Yeah.
70, 75 or higher, please. So, okay. Thank you. All right, Miss Angie, will you share?
Hello. I am currently in 30-degree West Virginia. It was -2 this morning and very icy and snowy, so I'm ready to be in Florida with Jennifer. I will take
Come
your
on
59
down.
and windy. I, for fun now, I deep dive into my metabolic health more. I used to deep dive into my hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's, and that led me nowhere. Now I deep dive into this, and I'm a full-time accountant, and I work out for fun.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Now we have Miss Vicky. You want to share where you're coming in from, something you love, a little bit about you.
I didn't know I got added. I'm sitting here picking my finger.
Well, we didn't see it, so you're good.
I am Vicky, and I am from Pasadena, Maryland, which is like halfway between Annapolis and Baltimore. So I'm right in the middle of all the fun stuff in Maryland. And what else did you ask? How cold it is? It's cold. It was 20 degrees when I was driving home. Too cold for me.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, yep. Too cold. Too cold, too cold. You can see we have a theme going here. We like the warmth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Lori, welcome in. Can you come in and just introduce yourself? Tell us what your weather's like and maybe something that you love, something you enjoy doing.
Hi guys, Lori Gatto. I am from Chicago, but we live in Wisconsin now, and I love water sports, surfing, wakeboarding. That's kind of my hobby.
Awesome. And what's the weather like where you're at?
Oh, cold. It's warm today.
No
We
weather
think it's warm. It
that's
was
for sure.
28. We were having a heat wave up here.
Oh gosh, guys. Well, welcome
Jennifer,
in,
you
guys.
better be ready for us, because when we all get down there and we're popsicles, we're going to count on you to show us a good time.
All right, ladies,
right.
bring it on. I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, that's funny. I love it. I love it. Well, guys, I'm Andrea Martin, and I'm in South Carolina, and we are at 39. We had like 4 inches of snow yesterday. That's not, we moved here to leave that, and we brought
You took it
snow,
with
hurricane.
you.
I know. I was like, what the heck? They're not going to like us very well. But guys, we appreciate you joining us tonight. So if you're watching us live on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, we're on a number of different platforms. We're here to share our stories because we've all been through struggles, like so many women. 93% of us are metabolically unhealthy, and we all struggled. We all have similar stories, but then they're also different and unique. So as you listen in tonight, think of your neighbor, your sister, your mom, your dad, your best friend. Maybe it's you. Our desire is to encourage you, empower you to maybe think outside of the box. Maybe turn and ask what's going on, why. Be like that 3-year-old and get curious with your body. Don't just take a patented answer of, oh, you're just aging, because we all were told that. We thought that, and we've learned a better way. So you're going to hear stories of inspiration, hope. So thanks for joining us. And I'm going to go ahead and bring to the front Miss Jenny. Jenny, will you share your story with us? Just what you experienced and why you said yes to this amazing natural protocol that we're all using.
Sure. Yeah, so my story is a little bit different than most. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with the big C word. And I pretty much have been overweight my whole entire adult life. And I had no idea. I mean, I knew I didn't feel good because I was overweight. And I knew that being overweight wasn't a good thing to be. But I would go to my doctor every year and he would say to me, your blood work's fine, just eat less and move more. And so that was a real struggle for me. I couldn't figure out, I had tried all the diets, I tried Weight Watchers and counting calories and weighing my food and all the things. And I just couldn't get the results that I wanted. And I just felt really defeated. And then I ended up with that big diagnosis. And I had no idea that the inflammation that I was carrying around in my body was a precursor to the big C word. But like many of you, I've been learning, over the last year, I didn't know this before, but over the last year, I've learned how much inflammation causes chronic disease in our body. And so my goal since learning about this protocol is to get rid of as much inflammation as I can, because I know that inflammation makes your body not work properly, and then it can help disease grow, and you can end up with those chronic conditions. And so my husband and I have been doing the protocol over the last 7 months. Between the two of us, we're down 70 pounds. I lost inches, like 19 inches off my body, 5 inches off my waist. My triglycerides have gone down. My husband's A1C went from 6.9 to 6. And so between the two of us, we're just getting healthy and we feel so, so good. And so, like the rest of you, my goal is just to help other people do the same.
Yeah. Wow, Jenny. So that's a story of
Did I lose you?
Nope. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yep, we can hear you.
Can't hear you now.
Okay. You guys can hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. We can hear you, Jenny. That's an amazing story, guys. And
That's weird.
I-
Can't hear.
I'm not sure why that happens. We can hear you. Maybe log off and log back in, Jenny. Maybe
Do we
somebody can
put a
message her
comment
that.
in?
Yeah, if you guys can do that, I don't want to do anything and mess it up.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
doing it.
Thank you. That's what we do. We work together. We figure it out. I think she's logging back out and maybe logging back in. But guys, what a story of hope, resilience, transformation, and what's happened in her and her husband's life. It's amazing. So you're going to hear a lot of that tonight. And this is on this picture is our sweet friend Honesty, PCOS, all kinds of issues. She's not on with us tonight, but she could be. And then we've got Carla, another sweet friend that she actually is a truck driver. So she was struggling to eat all of the junk because that's what's out there, a lot of it. And she's found solutions. And then we have Claudia. We've got so many amazing stories that you will hear about. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let Dr. Andrina go. Dr. Andrina, this is you. So you are up.
Oh, it's so hard to watch when you see an old picture of yourself. But that was me just last year, November. The picture on the left, that was our family holiday picture that I take with my kids and my husband. Unfortunately, I wasn't putting the oxygen mask on myself. I tend to take care of everybody else, patients and family, and I ignore myself. However, last year, God had to hit me in the face with the frying pan to wake up. I was sick for a good 13 weeks. I had troubles with asthmatic bronchitis again and turned into walking pneumonia. Was having trouble breathing. But after that finally calmed down, January hit and I was exhausted. And guess what was popping up all over Facebook is perimenopause symptoms. So coming into 49 was like not feeling very good. Was dreading like, oh, this is not fun. Like, why is God doing this? This shouldn't be the way we have to live our lives. So I had to give it to God and think, what am I doing wrong? I've been taught to eat every few hours, small amounts, just to keep, the metabolism going. Unfortunately, as you can see, I was blowing up. I've always, I think, felt like I've been more on the bigger bone side, just by taking on my dad's body type, if you will. But as I've learned with metabolic health and insulin resistance, which we tend to focus more on glucose and insulin, not insulin resistance. And I say that because my dad has been a diabetic since my whole adult life, since 2006. And then 3 years ago, here at the end of February, my husband found out his glucose was at 300. So I got immersed more into it than I thought I ever would. But it's very eye-opening, especially because you get thrown down the path of what you're being told to do and what you need to do to help control it and maintain it. And in reality, it's not really what needs to happen. So my husband, thankfully, he was able to change his diet and how he worked out. And doing that, he was injecting insulin to bring down his glucose from 300. And by doing that, he was not losing weight or inches. He stayed the same, but he was frustrated. So, of course, not being me, it's him. He went in and they switched him over to the O word, was not in love with that because I know the side effects and the black box warning label that's attached to it. But I had to give it to him. That was his choice and his body. And while doing so, his blood sugar started to tank on it. So luckily, he got off of it, was able to kind of maintain his blood sugars without help. But then this protocol came, and I was like, oh, this is it, right? And he didn't want to take it. So in reality, I started taking it for him and my dad, but in a out-about way, it has helped me. And as you can see up above, as I come back around to me, I figured out I was insulin resistant. My numbers were fine. My glucose was in the 90s. It wasn't anywhere drastic or anything. My liver enzymes were a little high, but I also was having trouble, if we go back to this whole perimenopause thing, I was bleeding a lot, like every 2 weeks, like my whole 2003, 2004, like nonstop cycles. It's not fun, not very, feeling very attractive, all that, it adds up. So for me, it has now balanced I call wackadoo hormones with this protocol. So I wish I would have known about it sooner because I would have been a more enjoyable, happy-go-lucky, enjoy that type of my 40s. So now going into 50 here in April, we're going to rock it. So hopefully that helps someone and understands all that. But yeah.
Yeah. And we continue to watch you, just like Jenny and everybody that's here. We continue to watch people change. I mean, you need a more current picture. I'm sure. I mean, we just continue to watch that. And we do. As somebody who's gone through menopause, you're starting it. It can be very rough. And ladies, don't just take the norm of, oh, well, that's just menopause. You're just perimenopause. You're just postmenopause. So what? I'm still not supposed to feel like crap all the time. There's got to be a way to help
No,
your
I have
hormones.
to say these last 10 months have been amazing. Like I would love a redo.
Yeah, exactly. Because you've learned what your
I
body
would love a
needs.
redo.
Yeah.
Well, you just
Yeah.
look at Andrina's picture and you look at that picture. She looks 15 years younger. Like she really looks 15
So
years
I get my
younger than
redo.
her old self. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
shocked
we
that you're
wouldn't
gonna be
recognize
50.
her out there. We wouldn't recognize you
Oh,
from
no.
that picture to that picture.
No.
Right? Well, I could say the same for Vicky or you. Like, it's funny when you see old, you're like, who is that? I'm like, I don't know that person because I didn't meet you then, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
you're right. You didn't know that person because it was a whole different person. We're all completely different people than when we started this.
Oh, yeah.
Not just the way we look, just the way we think and the way we live.
No.
Yeah.
An
Okay.
amazing outcome, that's for sure.
It
Yes.
is, and it's so simple. And guys, these stages and seasons of our life are there for a reason. They're there for a purpose. So if we can embrace the purpose of them versus what we have been prone to think of, this is a time of torture and pain and agony, and for some it can be, but we're learning. Just like you said, you wish you had a redo. You wish you could go back and rewrite your story. Start where you're at. Rewrite your story. That's what we're doing. We are rewriting our story, and we're changing our family's health and their legacy as we're sharing our friends and our neighbors. So, and guys, you can see that's me right there with the big fish. And if you look at that, I am so inflamed. I had no neck, as one of our mentors, Anne-Marie, says, hey, you had no neck. I didn't. And I have other pictures. I mean, thyroid issues, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia. I was in adrenal failure at one point in my life. I went from 87 pounds to 140 pounds. This past January, I weighed more than I did when I delivered all 5 of my babies. And like you, Dr. Andrina, nobody told me in my 30s when I developed gestational diabetes with my 3rd pregnancy, that was the start of insulin resistance. Nobody told me when I had ovarian cyst and PCOS that was linked to insulin resistance. Nobody told me when I had a thrush infection in my throat and went to the ER 3 times, and they just told me it was in my head, that was linked to insulin resistance. So all of these things that I was going through, if I would have known back then the chaos, I could have saved my body. And our body is so resilient. It is doing, I said earlier today, you break a bone, your body goes to heal. You cut yourself, your body goes to heal. It does the work when we fill in the missing pieces with diet, lifestyle, things like that. Natural nutraceuticals, food as medicine. It's beautiful. It's resilient. It does it. And you're seeing the change that we've been able to bring back. So, I went from inflamed to struggling to hormones balanced, went through menopause. I used to be, before this protocol, my husband just lays hand on me and I'm in a hot flash. Anybody else deal with that?
Not
I
yet.
hate it.
Absolutely.
I mean, just touch me and I'm like,
Although as
steaming.
cold as I am, I may want it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, one of the beauties is you get to dress warmer. You get to learn to dress in layers if you lose that extra, but you do get to go get a new wardrobe. And many of us have done that. Who doesn't love to shop as a lady? So, that's kind of my story. So let's see here. Who do we have next? Okay. Miss Jennifer, do you mind to share?
Sure. Well, again, I'm Jennifer. I'm 51. I am an adoptee and a full-time caregiver for my parents. As you can see in my before photo, that was actually in 2024. And in that photo, you can see I also did not have a neck. I was dealing with chronic inflammation, arthritis, joint pain, tinnitus, mouth and teeth sensitivity. I was dealing with high cholesterol, anxiety and depression, along with insomnia. I took 3 different, I call them Tic Tacs for lack of the social media world. Taking 3 Tic Tacs for all of those issues. Also, I was menopausal in that photo as well. I am now postmenopausal. I was dealing with I actually gained a lot of weight kind of quickly through the whole menopausal journey that I've been on. Hot flashes. It reminds me of there's some superhero movie where the guy says flame on. That's what I think of myself when I look at that picture, because when it hit hard. I had the night sweats. I did not feel happy in my skin. I've been a caregiver for 3 years, and I live 20 minutes from the beach. And going to the beach in a bathing suit in that body was very uncomfortable. I did not feel good about myself. I felt a lot of shame, and I don't know if you ladies ever had this, but I could feel when the inflammation was increasing or the weight was increasing, because my skin would start to itch. And I'd play these little games with myself that, okay, maybe if I ate less and I moved more, that I could still cram myself into those jeans so I don't have to go buy a bigger size. And I played a lot of mental games with myself surrounding the shape of my body. As you can see, I was very pear-shaped. At the time, I did not realize that I actually looked like that. You kind of go along with the years and something's not right. You can feel your clothes are getting tight. But as I look back, I'm like, girl, what were you doing? I was told, like everybody else, you take these Tic Tacs, it'll solve that issue or that symptom.
Yeah.
And nothing ever got resolved. It was a Band-Aid that I dealt with for 16 years. And I also had intense brain fog. And the scariest thing is when you have your 80-year-old parents and you're scheduling appointments, you're in charge of medications, and you schedule an appointment that's 45 minutes away on the wrong week, on the wrong day. And that is something that I'm starting to share more with people, because I am responsible for other lives. And that was not my stellar moment as the oldest child. And when I was introduced to the protocol, within a couple days, I had mental clarity.
Wow.
And my arthritis joint pain went away. I mean, I have a little 14-year-old dog, and just going a half a block before was a hard feat for me because my bones just ached. I was like a weather vane. I could tell you when it was going to rain. I don't have those problems anymore. I have more energy than I did in my late 20s, early 30s. You know, and the photo there actually was probably about 4 or 5 months in. And even the inflammation in the top part of my arm, I don't have that anymore. I don't have brain fog. I have energy. And the greatest thing between both of my parents, my dad is pre-diabetic and is on Alzheimer's meds. And my mother is legally blind and primarily spends most of her time in a wheelchair. But for my mom to tell me, this is the happiest I've seen you in a really long time, is the biggest gift I could have received from her. And I said, but Mom, I was on, these TikToks before for anxiety and depression. She goes, no, something's different. Something's different since you started doing that tea. And I was like, that's a win for me. And then Dad says I have entirely too much energy, that I really need to stop the tea and maybe sit down and watch TV. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have time for that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, literally, you've gotten your life back. You know, you in so many ways.
Right.
And I think we're going to be in Florida next week, a lot of us together for a training. So we have community, we have fun together. I think we all need to take new photos, because I think if we look at these photos, they've even changed even more. So it's so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story and bringing hope to others out there, for sure. All right, Miss Lori, can you come on to stage and share with us?
Yes. Am I there?
Yep, I see
I'm
you.
here. Okay. Hey everybody. Well, I'm looking at that picture and I'm just remembering back. That was last March, because we live in Miami in March. And that was on a boat. And I honestly didn't even think that I was having a problem then. I thought I was fine, even though everything wasn't fine. I was boiling hot all the time. I was taking, like Jennifer said, Tic Tacs, over the counter migraine medicine. Like, I had headaches constantly. I couldn't sleep. I had menopause. I'm 56. I was 55 there at the time, but I felt like it wasn't a hot flash. It was like a 24-hour hot flash. And I didn't even think anything was really that bad. I mean, I thought it was just menopause, and I had to accept this reality, and that it would hopefully pass at some point. I thought it was my progesterone and estrogen that was really out of balance, but it was really my insulin hormone, our master hormone. And I was pre-diabetic. Like I said, I had the migraines, I had eye floaters, I had very little sleep. I was waking up to 2 times a night, taking ice cold showers to cool down, because I would just wake up drenched, like when you have a fever, just to feel just to get my body cold. I mastered taking a shower in the dark, shower cap, getting in, and I could probably do an ice plunge and not even make a peep. Like, that's how inflamed and hot I was. And I just thought it was an imbalance of progesterone and estrogen. I was walking every day. All summer, I was doing water sports, wakeboarding, surfing, and the weight just kept going up, and the metabolic distress kept going up. Hypertension stage 2, my blood pressure was averaging 160 over 110, always very triple digits obviously it's triple digits on the top, but on the bottom too. And I'd go to the doctor and they would always be like they would panic because my blood pressure was so bad. And then I'd have to try to calm down and then take it when I got home, and it would be a little bit better. But they wanted to give me Tic Tacs for that. They wanted to give me the metformin, like my sister, who had a severe allergic reaction to that. She had hives from head to toe from taking that medication. And I'm allergic to wine. I'm allergic to antibiotics. So I don't want to take the Tic Tacs. So to find something natural that alleviated the menopause, that actually got me down 35, almost 40 pounds, and the hypertension gone. I haven't had a headache in 6 months. And like Jennifer said, I thought my bones and my headaches were, from the barometric pressure from the outdoors. That's not the case at all. It was my body. It was the inflammation. It was the very high levels of insulin. It wasn't all the things that I thought it was. And then I stumble upon the simplest thing I've ever tried, and everything that, plagued me was gone. And I honestly still can't believe it. My husband has lost 30 plus pounds. Was put on a lipid lowering medication at 21. He's 62. His triglycerides went down 107 points. And our college age son has lost 30 pounds. So we're almost 100 pounds with 3 in the family. And
Wow.
we can't believe it. Like, we got our lives back and our mental health. Everyone's happier, the gut health from the fiber. It's just almost unbelievable. And the community we have here is it's second to none.
Yeah. That's amazing, Lori. And, we've got pictures of Lori too with a ice pack on her head and her throat, I think, and in bed, and just, guys, we don't know how much we're suffering. I think a lot of us would say, I didn't know how bad I felt until I actually started
No.
feeling good.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing and inspiring our community. So let's go forward. This is Miss Kim. You guys will get to meet her at some point. She considered herself the hormone nightmare. She has an amazing story of overcoming triumph, spending, I think, a month in the hospital, and she was a mess. Look at her now. She's a beast. And now we have Miss Arlie and Vicky. You're coming up. I'm pretty sure I got a picture of you two and Angie. So Miss Arlie, welcome. I see you there. So here's your slide. Do you want to come in, just share with us a little bit about you and share with us your story?
Absolutely. And for everybody who is watching, I just want to encourage you, let 2026 be the year for you. Like, don't hesitate. Don't put it on the back burner, because most of us, they say that it's, 85%, 95% of North America is unhealthy metabolically in many different areas. It could be showing up in your blood work already, where you're like me and you had a high A1C. I got diagnosed with an A1C of 6.1 in December of 2024. And my doctor wanted to put me on a medication, even though that's still considered just pre-diabetes, right? At that level. And I said, you know what? No, I don't want a lifetime sentence of being on prescriptions. Because one of the things I know, and you don't have to be in the medical industry to know this, is once you're on those prescriptions, they just keep giving you higher and higher dosages, because those medications don't actually go in and fix the problem in the first place. So I was just on a business call just a few minutes ago, so I haven't been watching this call right from the beginning, but probably at some point, anybody who's watching has seen.
We're going to show that in a minute, Arlie.
You're going to show it. Okay.
Yep.
So insulin resistance is at the core of type 2 diabetes. Anybody who has gotten a high A1C in their blood work has been insulin resistant for 5, 10, 15 years before that, and their blood work looked fine. And so this is the thing. How do you know that you're insulin resistant? Well, if I go to all of the things that they say to check, I was like that for years. Okay, so here it is, waking up in the morning and you're exhausted. And you're like, what the heck is this? I just slept 8 hours. Why am I so tired? The other one is, once you start eating, once you pop, you cannot stop, right? Once you start eating, you get hungrier after you put food in your mouth than before. Well, that doesn't make any sense. I've got food going in my belly. I should be getting more full as I eat. But when we eat naked carbs, which is what causes that, is when you have a highly processed carbohydrate without having fiber first, fats and protein, your glucose goes up like crazy. And then when you get that glucose spike, You just want to keep feeding it. That's what was happening to me. And the reason why I actually became obese, like I honestly never thought I would actually use that adjective talking about myself. But at 5'3" and 172 pounds, that, my friend, is obesity. And so why do we get overweight? People call it menopausal weight gain. And I'm telling you, maybe that has something to do with it. But look at our husbands, look at our men. They're coming home in their 40s with beer bellies. They're putting their belts underneath their guts, and they don't even go to the pub. Like my husband doesn't even drink at all. And he was popping on a beer belly now that he's heading to his 50s. So it's not just menopause. It is insulin resistant. As we age, our bodies become resistant to insulin. And this is all the stuff that our doctors won't tell us. Half the doctors don't even study insulin resistance. All they're looking for is, once they start showing you that chart, is all of the markers. If you're a fatty liver, they've got a test for that. If you're type 2 diabetes, there's a test for that. If you've got high blood pressure, put on a blood pressure cuff. There's a pill for all those things. But they don't, in Canada at least, they do not test you for insulin resistance. And in Canada, our healthcare system is free. Okay. So could you imagine that 85% of the people go in saying, hey, I heard these crazy ladies on Monday night saying, I have a pretty high chance that I'm insulin resistant. Will you test me, please? No, they won't. They'll say, listen, your A1C is fine. Just watch your weight, move more, and eat less. Count your calories in and calories out. Well, we've been preached that now for the last 40 years. So why is our planet sicker now than it has ever been in the entire history of as they started to document it? And why, for the first time, do our children have a shorter life expectancy than we do?
It's pretty scary. It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us what happened with you. Yeah. Tell us, because you are not the same person in this.
Yeah.
picture.
Sorry about that,
Oh, no,
Andrea. I get so like worked up with what's going on with our health. So this is what happened. Here's the good news. In December of 24, I was diagnosed. I said no to the meds. Then in January, I began to pray about it and study about metabolic health. And when the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. In February, just of last year, I stumbled across a video, something like this. And they started talking about this protocol of how I could reverse my type 2 diabetes and drop my weight and reverse my insulin resistance. And I was like all over it, like a fat kid on a Smartie. Okay. And I started it on February 21st. Okay. Within 90 days, I went back and got my blood work done. My A1C had gone from 6.1 down to 5.0. My doctor was blown away. I had lost 22 pounds by then. So far, I've lost 32 pounds. I'm now a size 4. And my triglycerides also reduced by 56%. Okay. My doctor, when she saw my blood work, she asked me if I had gone to either a naturopath or another doctor and got prescribed the medication that she wanted me to take. And I was like, no, I did not. I didn't take a single medication. It was all naturally through this wonderful protocol that has changed my life. It's changed my husband's life. It's changed my 14-year-old type 2 diabetic daughter's life. Her A1C has gone down from 7.3 down from 7.1 down to 6.3 in the last 6 months. And the results are remarkable.
Wow. It's, we sit and we listen to this, and guys, you see the passion in each one of us. We wouldn't be showing up here on a Monday night if we didn't care and love enough about you. So whoever on this, you've heard their story, reach out to them because they want to share with you this natural solution that we're doing. You're gonna learn more about that. But thank you for that, Arlie, because you, like me, you struggled during pregnancy, right? You were gestational diabetes. I did too. Then your daughter, she developed diabetes. I mean, guys, our children are suffering. We've got to make a change. And ladies, a lot of times it's up to us in the house. If we just start simple things, and that's why we're here as a community. Simple things. Okay, let's go on because we will be on here all night long. Let me see. So, okay, this slide shows we've got men, women. This is for everybody. This is for kids. This is for men. This is for women. We have the testimonies. We have the results. Oh, wait a minute. Where? I am missing slides. Okay, hold on. Oh, my right one did not load. Okay, we got Vicky. Vicky, you're coming up. Vicky and Angie, I guess I had another slide. I had to do this a couple times, guys, so I apologize. So Vicky, will you come on up and will you share your story? And then Angie will have you share too before we get into the other stories. I apologize. I don't know. I did this a couple times. I must have loaded the wrong PowerPoint. You don't have to be perfect, guys. Just
No worries.
so,
No worries. No
okay,
worries.
tell us your story.
Yeah, I have a story whether you have a picture or not, right?
You
So,
do have a story. Oh my gosh.
I
Do you have a
am
story?
a type 1 diabetic and have been this way for 36 years. I'm getting ready to turn 61 here in a few weeks. And when I was 59, I said, I got to get my life together because I'm getting old. I'm going to be 60. And my cousin reached out to me and she said, you know, you need to talk to my son. He's working with this product and I really think it could help you. And that sounded great, but I'm a type 1 diabetic. You know, this is something that there's nothing I can do about, right? Or so I thought. So what I did was I started this protocol that we're going to talk about later. And in the first week, I was able to drop my insulin, my daily insulin use by 62%. Within a month, I was able to drop it down 79%. So I went from 55 to 65 units a day down to 12 to 18 units a day. And it's been that way ever since. So I got curious and I looked up how much insulin does a normal human body make, you know, on a normal human, you know, SAD diet. And it said between 30 and 60 units. So I don't make insulin because I'm type 1 and I'm using half of what the lowest level of a normal human body makes. So
Wow.
in doing that, what I also learned was that I wasn't just type 1, which my doctor had told me this, but I didn't know what it was. So about 3 years ago, she said to me, you're insulin resistant. And that really scared me because all I thought of was, well, I need insulin to live. And I know what the word resistant means, right? So I'm like, if the insulin isn't working, what is there for me to do? Am I going to die? That was my question to her. Am I going to die? And she said, no. We'll just need to increase your insulin levels. As time goes on, you become kind of tolerant to it. And so we'll just need to increase your levels over the years. I'm like, okay. So that gave me peace of mind. I didn't really think anything else about it. But my blood sugars in the entire time that I've been diabetic have never been stable. I've had A1Cs as high as 9.5 and possibly even higher because there were several years where I didn't even really go to the doctor. And so when I started the protocol, I started February 1st. Yesterday was actually my 1-year anniversary. And so in July of last year, I had my A1C checked. And according to that A1C, I'm pre-diabetic. But I mean, I still use my insulin pump. So I am getting insulin from my insulin pump, but my readings are at a pre-diabetic level, which is unheard of for a type 1 diabetic. So just last week, I went to the eye doctor and they always ask, what's your A1C? How's your blood sugar? Your eyes look great. There's really no changes. And that's the first time in like 5 years that I haven't had to get new glasses when I went to the eye doctor. And I said, my A1C was 5.9 in July. I said, but I had only been on the system that I'm on for 4 months. And so I think that, it's probably better than that now. And she whipped around on that little spinny stool so fast, I thought she was going to fly right off the side of it. And she's like, what did you say? And I said, my A1C is 5.9. And she said, hold on, you're type 1, right? And I said, yeah. And I said, I've been using a protocol. And she said, what kind of protocol are you using? So come to find out, her mom is a type 1 diabetic. And so I explained to her what I'd been doing. And just on Friday, she ordered the protocol herself. So she's the second one of my doctors that has ordered the protocol. My endocrinologist ordered it back in July when I went to see her. And now my ophthalmologist has ordered it. And she took her time, like she waited a few days. She did her research on it. My endocrinologist ordered it right away. She ordered it the night after I'd been there to see her. My ophthalmologist took her time. I sent her some information. She went on the website. She read about it. She did some research. And then she decided she was going to try it. So that made me feel really good for 2 reasons. First of all, that people in the medical field are realizing that there are other options that they can recommend for us. Because I think if I was in this space 5-10 years ago, they'd be like, it's hogwash, it doesn't work. And I'm like, hello, it's working. And then the second thing that I'm just so grateful for is the fact that I have 2 medical doctors that are willing to take a chance and try this and see for themselves what it can accomplish. So I'm grateful for the system. I'm grateful for all of you, for our entire community. We have such support. And we learn from each other every single day. Every single time I listen on one of these calls, and I know all your stories, but every single time I learn something. And so I'm grateful to have you all in my life. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautiful. And so let me get this straight, because we need to know this. As a type 1, you have been able to change all this, right?
Yeah. So I actually was, when my doctor told me I was insulin resistant, what I didn't realize was that that's like being a double diabetic, right? So really was a type 1 and a type 2 at the same time. And because of this protocol that you're going to explain here in a little bit, I've been able to reverse that type 2 part of me. I'm still type 1. I'll always need to take insulin. But I've been able to reverse that type 2 with just some very slight lifestyle changes and by using the protocol that we use.
And guys, look at this picture of her in the middle. And
I
like I said, we all need updated pictures. Oh my goodness.
And I have lowered my cholesterol. I've lowered my blood pressure. They wanted to put me on medicine for both of those and not any longer. I've lost 50 pounds. I still have some to go. I'm not where I'd like to be, but I don't even really think about losing weight because it just happens. Like I just continue to eat and do what I do the way that we do it. And then one day I'll jump on the scale and there'll be another 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 pounds gone. And it just kind of happens. And that's what I've realized. Our bodies know where they really should be. And it's up to us to take care of it in a way that allows it to heal itself and get it where it needs to be. It's pretty simple. When I say that, and I don't mean any disrespect to anybody that's struggling with their weight, because I know, look at that picture of me. I know how hard it was or how hard it is. I've been on every diet system under the sun. And I know how hard it is. We all know what that struggle is like. But when you are doing the right thing and taking care of your body in the way that it truly needs to be taken care of, look, we all know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. You know, the majority of the people, they know right from wrong, right? So we just have to make a few changes. And if you make those few changes, you will have enormous success with this protocol.
Yeah, I know, Vicky, as you say that, we know we know right from wrong. We know, and I knew right from wrong, but I would get up every morning and I was freezing, so I wanted my hot chocolate. And I had my
Yep.
hot chocolate. I knew it wasn't good for me. But I didn't have that willpower
You
to
don't
say
have the
no.
control.
You
You
don't
don't
have
have,
the control.
yeah. And
And
that's something I said yesterday when I was at a meeting yesterday, and I said, for the first time in my life, I have control of what I put in my mouth. Because before, if I walked by a cake, I was having a piece of that cake. I don't care if I'm diabetic or not. I'll just take more insulin. If I walk by a basket of rolls, I was having probably 3 or 4 of those rolls with butter. Like I was having it. I wasn't depriving myself. And now I can walk by that and it doesn't even faze me. And I know that sounds crazy to people that aren't on the system. I know it sounds insane because when they told me that, I was like, yeah, right. But when you give your body that little bit of break and you use this protocol, you have a whole reset that takes place in your mind, in your body, in your gut, like your heart, like, and I mean heart as far as your feelings in your heart just change because you realize I thought I felt pretty good, but you realize you really didn't feel that good. And when you start to really feel good, then you're like, whoa, I don't want to go back to there. I want to stay on this trajectory and keep going straight forward.
absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Yeah, it's so true. Angie, okay, let's go, girl. Share your story.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say my age because I've been getting a lot here lately that I look like I'm straight out of college. I'm 20 years old. I am not. I am 35 years old. At 20 years old, I probably look 30 years old because at 20, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's. I was thrown a medication and said, here, have a great day. I'm like, okay, what's a thyroid? Is this going to help my weight? Because I'd gained a bunch of weight and I just thought I got in a happy relationship. I quit smoking cigarettes. I started eating better. So I thought it was all that. And they're like, oh yeah, take this medicine. You'll lose, the weight will come right off. Okay. Never did. And then here I was 4 years later, even bigger because I had tried different other pills. I tried Adipex and lost the weight, quit it, and the weight came right back and then some. And I was frustrated. In 2014, I started working out, or 2015, I started working out full time, dieting, restricting myself, doing these little pretty containers and counting on macros and all this stuff, and it was miserable. And I would lose the weight, but I still felt puffy and inflamed. My hair was still falling out. My hair was still thinning. I still dealt with acne. I mean, I was in my 20s still dealing with acne, and I'm like, this isn't right. And then last year, 2 years ago, I started having hot flashes at night. I'm 33, 34 years old. I'm like, okay, this isn't right. Told my doctor, oh, it was probably just, that time of the month. It's normal. No, it's not. I even went to him in 2024 and said, listen, I'm inflamed. I feel just puffy. I don't feel like I gained weight. I just feel puffy. And I could tell in my thighs I would have indentions. And I'm like, I feel like that's water retention. We'll test your inflammation and see. No, you're normal. He's like, it must just be muscle because I work out. So he brushed it off as muscle. I'm like, that's not muscle. I know muscle and that's not muscle. And I recently learned that that inflammation marker he tested, actually, I was chronically inflamed. And he brushed it off that it was normal. And now I sat and watched Andrea and James for months. James calling Robbie every single day, you all need to try this. You all need to try this. I said, no, I'm not trying some hocus pocus stuff again and get my hopes up and wasting my money. I'm not doing it. And for months, I kept secretly going to Andrea's page and looking and trying to figure out what is it she's talking about. And finally, we went and visited them and got to talking to her more. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. Still skeptical. I'm going to try it. It's not going to work. I'm going to be calling Andrea in 80 days and telling her this is a joke. It's not working for me, and send it back. About 3 weeks in, I woke up one morning. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work every day. Drive 45 minutes to work. And I woke up one morning and was like, I have energy. I feel good. Driving to work, I wasn't pounding on the steering wheel trying to stay awake, wasn't playing with the heat and air conditioner. I felt good. The first time in 15 years, I felt good. I felt awake. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, okay, this is a fluke. Because with my thyroid issues, I had 2% of the time that I felt good. So like, okay, it's a fluke. And it kept going on and on. And I was like, wow, I feel really good. And another issue that I know is uncomfortable for most to talk about, I didn't go to the bathroom every day. I could go a week without going. I'd have to drink prune juice just to go. I would have to do detox stuff just to go. Now I go every day. And it's an amazing feeling. And I try to talk about it all the time because I know there's other people that struggle and don't say anything. You know, and I was telling my doctor, I'm like, this isn't right. I'll just take more fiber, get you some Metamucil or whatever it is. I'm like, no, I don't want to put that stuff in my body. And I ate healthy. I have a tower garden full of lettuce in my basement. I ate salads and veggies and fruits and everything. And I dealt with anxiety all the time. And now that's gone. And I'm lowering my thyroid medication, which this time last year, I had a note on my phone of what I wanted to talk to my doctor about. And raising my medication was one of them so I could maybe feel better. And now I'm lowering it. And in the next couple months, I plan to be off of it. And had you told me this 15, 16 years ago, I would have said there's no way. Because they said it was genetic. They said I would be on medication the rest of my life. But I still have yet to find one family member that has thyroid issues in my family. I'm like, it didn't start with me. There's no way.
Yeah, that's interesting, Angie. And Angie has seen just amazing results. Thank you for sharing. And her husband has seen amazing results. The men are sharing on a men's call too tomorrow evening. Guys, and so I look at this and I look, okay, Angie's our baby, 35 of the group. You've got every age. Guys, we have every age, every, culture that is representative within our community, and our bodies, it's like our bodies start to wake up. It's like they start to thrive again. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's so simple. Thank you all for sharing. We're going to look at this real quick. So if you see this slide and you've heard these stories, so if this spoke to you, reach out to one of these people that you know. Okay, that's why we're on here sharing. Where 93% of American adults are metabolically unhealthy. And guys, our children are following in the same footsteps. We can help our children too. So if you have belly fat, skin tags, inflammation, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, high blood sugar, constant cravings, any of these other situations that you see around this circle, PCOS for women, okay, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, erectile dysfunction, neuropathy. My dad, he didn't have a pulse in his foot at 81. We saved his toe. He now has a pulse just by doing this, not even doing it right, just by doing it. Because we're adding more good into your body. We're taking this great nutrition and we're going to show you. So if this is you, or if you know somebody, listen up, because there is a natural solution. Here's the solution. It is a tea and a fiber, and it's proven. It has 20 clinical research studies. It's HSA, FSA qualified. It's a nutraceutical. So that means it's in the physician's desk reference. That means your doctor can look it up. He can find the information on this. It doesn't interact with other medications because it's food. It's just great food that we need. It's in 63 countries. It's patented and it's guaranteed. We encourage you to start your morning off with this tea. Start off with this, push your breakfast out, and then eat when you're hungry and have a balance with it. It's how simple it is. We call it intermittent fasting. It's so easy. Here's some of we call it competition, but it's not really. But these are some things that maybe your physician has said, hey, you need a statin, you need a metformin. What about Ozempic? Well, we can go the bariatric surgery route. And we have people in our community that have done all of those. And we have people in our community that have been able to support their body. Some of them completely get off all of this medication. We know a type 2 diabetic, he was off over 100 units of insulin in 2 days, completely healed a foot wound that I don't want to show you, but if you want to see it, just message one of us. We'll show you his wound where he even actually died. And they brought him back. He suffered for months and then found this protocol. And within 3 months, the foot wound is completely healed. And guys, it's the size of a Coke can lid. It's unbelievable how resilient the body is. So we can help you. Mate, balance, move your breakfast out, do some time-based eating. We teach you how to do that. And like Arlie said, you need a solution that lasts for a lifetime. Let 2026 be your year. We have a solution. It's easy. It's cost effective. It's putting money back in all of our pockets. We talk about that all the time. I don't buy my sweet teas anymore. I don't want them. I don't buy my hot chocolate anymore. I don't buy the other snacks. I don't want it. This curbs your food noise. It's a natural GLP-1. It supports your own natural GLP-1 by 60 to 70%. So you don't want the other stuff. And this helps coat your gut and your food so your body is digesting food well. Guys, it works. It's brilliant. It's brilliantly made and designed. It has a 90-day money-back guarantee. And we would just encourage you, say yes. Give your body the fighting chance. Give it 90 days. Each one of these beautiful women came on tonight and shared because they care. It's not always comfortable for us to show up. But we wanted to show up for you because you matter. You're valued. You're a gift. We have an amazing community. You're going to get to see a bunch of us. Follow us all on social media. You're going to see a bunch of us in Florida. You want to go travel with some girls and have some fun? Come on and join our community. Just message us and say, hey, how do I join your community? You guys look like a fun group of girls. I want to share with you, but real quick before we leave, and I don't know, one book that we love, guys, is Fast Like a Girl. Find this book. It's great information. Dr. Mindy Pelz, Dr. Ben Bickman, Why We Get Sick. We want to give you resources, and we have all that in our community. So ladies, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here, being a light in this dark world. Your stories are changing people's lives. And I know you've all changed my life, and you've given me hope. I consider myself probably the grandma of the group here. I will be 59 in June. My youngest son tells me all the time, hey, you're going to be 60 before long. And I'm like, shh. He's actually said that for a few years. But you know what? I'm learning that all of these seasons of life, they're beautiful in their own design. So as we take our health back, as we truly reclaim our story, and walk into a season of hope because of how resilient our body is and how we're filling in those missing pieces, we get to step into a new us. So we're inviting you to step into a new you. Get with whoever you know tonight, connect with them and just say, hey, tell me exactly what you're doing. Send me your link because we have a link that's going to save you about $75. And we're going to be there to support you. Ladies,
The
you
best-
are a pure joy. Anybody have anything to share before we close? Yep, Dr.
Like the
Virginia.
best thing is you heard all of our stories. They're all each different, but they all come back to that one hormone of insulin and this one protocol that's helped fix and reverse for all of us. It doesn't matter what it is. We're all able to do the same protocol to correct this one hormone that's causing havoc of all these other symptoms.
And we're not,
Amen.
I'm not a diabetic. Angie's
Yeah,
not a diabetic.
neither am I. Yeah.
You're
I'm
not,
not
Jennifer's
either.
not a diabetic. Lori's not a diabetic. I wouldn't have even looked at this hormone. I wouldn't have even thought about it. I didn't realize it's like this master hormone. Every cell in your body has an insulin receptor. And if that's off, everything else is going to be off, guys. So we found the root. Let's get to the root cause. Let's fix it. Don't cover up the band. Your symptoms is your body speaking to you. Your symptoms is, I like to equate it to, it's that red light flashing. You know the stop sign. Red light is that
Or your
body
service
is,
engine light in
yeah,
your
your
car.
service engine light. It is warning you. The yellow light is your symptoms of. The red light is you got to stop. You're done. You done. The yellow light is you got the migraines. You walk in the room, you forget why you're there. Your body aches. You sleep at night, but you wake up exhausted. You're craving all day long. That's your yellow light. That's warnings of your body saying, "Hey, I need some support. I need help." We have your support. Join us. We want to be your support, lock arms with you, and to help you to live well and thrive. Okay, this was our Monday moment with Women's Health Series. So thank you guys for being here. Love each one of you, and we will see you. We do have a science call tonight, guys. 8 o'clock. Is it 8 o'clock? It's 8 o'clock.
Right
now.
So, yep, 8 o'clock. Well, we're past that time. Sorry about that. But we have science calls, guys. It seems like
Tomorrow.
almost every night of the week. Tomorrow night we have one. If you want to listen to a physician share, just say, send me the science link. I want to know more about it. Okay.
I'm
God bless, guys.
studious.
Yes. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Love
Thank
you
you so
guys.
much.
Thank you for
Bye.
hosting.